Okay, introducing my next guest. We have a band member from A Day Like Robbery who's based in my neck of the woods in Birmingham. Should have Mark, is it?
Yeah, it's Mark. Yeah,
Yeah, nice to meet you, Mark. You're in a free piece called Daylight Robbery,
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
based in Birmingham. What part of Birmingham are you situated in?
Well, I'm originally from Solihull. Our bass player is from originally over by Sutton, and our drummer's a bit further away. He's over from the East Midlands. He's kind of Derby way.
Right.
So yeah, yeah. So yeah,
And
all good.
when you're performing, do you find you do quite a few local gigs, or do you find you have to travel further afield?
Further afield, I don't think Birmingham's the best anymore for live venues. You have to kind of move around, travel around. There's a lot of loads of bands competing for festival slots and things like that these
Yeah.
days. You've really noticed the difference with that over the last few years.
Mm,
There's really been an emphasis in just the sheer volume of bands that are all competing for the same
mm.
kind of spots and things like that. But it's all good. It's all good fun, and a
I
lot
know
of
you got,
people. Everyone knows each other anyway, so
yeah,
it's
a, a, a good community spirit
yeah,
generally.
yeah. Generally, yeah, yeah.
On your Facebook page, where people could follow you on Daylight Robbery, it says you might be, well, you are playing at the Knee Festival. That's
Oh
coming up.
yeah, 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 yeah. We're playing at that one. Yeah, yeah. We've got quite a few. Well, we've got quite a few gigs booked for later this year because we've got a new album coming out. We've releasing the singles from that beforehand. Godz being one of them, which you've already mentioned. But yeah, the we've got quite a few shut slots at various festivals, various supporting bands that are coming over from the States, etc., etc.
Hmm.
But we've got unfortunately our drummer has a fairly dire shoulder situation going on, so he's going to have to be going in for an operation on that. So we're going to have to see how the land lies with that. But Neen, we're definitely doing that one. Yeah, we're
That's
definitely
that's good
yeah.
to know. You're a trio as well. What do you like about working as a three piece rather like say like
It,
a five
oh my.
piece?
Well, we were a five piece.
Ah,
We always were a five piece. Yeah. So we're actually working on our fourth album now. We do an awful lot of people. The people that watch this and whatever, they've probably seen us at various festivals, Hard Rock Hell, Planet Rock, Stock. We've played the NEC Arena a couple of times and things like that with various bands. Played at Black Sabbath's last show, and we were a five piece then, but it was all getting a bit political, shall we say? So
hmm,
we've gone down to we've gone down to a three piece, and it's just so much easier. Yeah, it's just so much easier.
yeah.
Yeah,
It must be a bit challenging sometimes. Like if in a band with quite a few members in, you have like differences of opinions and clashes, and
yeah,
things
yeah,
can escalate rather like trivially, can't they? And
yeah. And it does.
yeah.
It does sometimes, and it's I mean, most people that have been in the band, we've stayed on good terms with, and whatever. There's never any animosity
Hmm,
or anything like that. But yeah, it's just so much easier just working as
yeah.
as a three piece band. It's just so much easier, and we wanted to be a little bit heavier as well. And you look at bands like the Winery Dogs and King's X and bands like that, and they've always got such a good vibe about them, and that's really what we
Hmm,
wanted to go through. It's almost like a 70s vibe, about the whole thing, which we just love. So
hmm.
it's cool. Yeah, it's all very cool.
And um, rock music is what you do, but more specifically, hard melodic rock.
Yeah, but it's certainly got heavier. It's certainly got heavier over the last couple of albums. We were always quite a progressive AOR band almost. It would be AOR, catchy choruses, big harmonies, and with quite a few, a lot of time changes, odd time signatures, things like that in there. All very melodic and big choruses. But when we got down to a three piece, we just thought, oh god, let's just play what we naturally play,
Hmm.
which is stuff that's a little bit heavier, but we've made sure that we keep those big choruses, big harmonies. We work hard on the harmonies and getting those right, and big guitar
Hmm.
solos and things like that.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
sure. You're a self-release band, independent. I don't like to use the word unsigned. I find that quite an unfair word.
Yeah,
Um,
we're on a we're on a label called Solar Flare. We're on we've got a distribution deal with Code 7, Code 7 distribution. We've got, you know, if you go into HMVs at the moment,
hmm.
you'll see our CDs like in the rock section and whatever, it's in there. So I like to go into the local HMV actually and just say, oh, you had 5 the other day. Oh, you got 2 now. We sold 2 CDs, you know, which is always good.
Yeah,
But no, it's good doing that. We've done in-store appearances there and
yeah.
things like that. So yeah, it's all good.
It's
Yeah,
nice to be represented, isn't it?
yeah.
I was there. If it's a HMV that you're talking about, is that one Dale End? I was there yesterday, actually. The old Toys R Us.
Yeah, that's right. Is it called the Vault now? Is it or
Yeah,
something
you're
like that?
right. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vault. Yeah. So it was it last time I was but in Birmingham. You know, it was in there. I know it's been distributed to quite a few HMVs around the country. So I was in, you know, a couple of the big HMV in the Black Countries at Mirror Hill. I was in there, and it was in that one and whatever. So yeah, you can get to the last CD, which is The Enemy Within.
Hmm.
That's available there now. Yeah. So I'm presuming that the new album will be available there when it comes
Oh, that's
out.
good. So, is this what number album will this be? Is it the third or fourth?
We're working on the 4th one at the moment. Yeah. So there's 3 prior to this. Yeah.
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 I better talk about the Godz as well. What
Oh
does
yeah.
this song entail?
It's really about it's a weird one. You know, when you stand back and you look at rock music now and the state of rock music, and you haven't got those. It feels like the big band, like, you know, your Zeppelins, you know the Hendrix, your Van Halens, and your band like that. They're not around anymore.
Mm.
You know, it's almost like, well, where have they gone? You know, where have they gone? You know, these were kind of the gods of our music, and
Ah,
they're not around anymore. Where are they? You know, no. So it's almost looking at that. It's almost like a romanticized view, looking back at, well, where are these guys
hmm.
anymore? So in the video to the song, you've got like, the imagery dropping in of, you know, Hendrix and Sabbath and all this, all being dropped in Led Zeppelin. You've got all that being dropped into there, and it's just asking the question, you know,
Hmm.
well, what's happened to them all? Where have they gone? You know,
Ah, I
it's
see.
almost
Is
it's
it like
almost
your
a
oh, sorry.
pessimistic view of the industry,
Hmm,
really.
hmm. About to say it's your homage to the rock and roll greats of
Yeah,
yesteryear.
really, yeah, really. It sounds a bit pretentious because when you look at it and you look at the promo to it, it looks like we're calling ourselves gods, but we're not. You know,
Uh,
it's not that at all. Yeah.
cool. I think that's everything I wanted to ask you today. Anything else you may just like to add to the interview?
Uh, no, not really. Just if people are going to the Nene Valley Festival, then that's great. We'll see you there later in the year. If people want to, jump on and follow us on Facebook
Yeah.
or Facebook, it's just if you search Daylight Robbery, you'll see us on there. What else? Obviously, our music's all over Spotify. Our albums are released physically as well, so you can grab them on there. Yeah, and just thanks for listening, guys.
That's fine. I wanted to ask, how did you just come up with the name Daylight Robbery?
We're kind of gutted in a way because when we went down to a 3-piece, we felt that the name Daylight Robbery was a bit 80s, a bit too 80s rock. You know, it felt like. But because we built up quite a following, but knew we were going in a different direction. We were going in more of a straight heavy rock path. We toyed with changing the name, but we thought, well, hang on a second. We've got so many followers on Facebook. We've got so many people that buy the stuff. We'd have to re-announce everything and get all that, you know, publicity out there and this, that, and the other. And so we decided to keep the name. But it's one of them now. We think, we could have changed the name at the time, but it was just, it's a name from a band that I was in when I was a kid, with a couple of members that were in the band originally that have moved on there, and we just kind of got it going again and reused the name because it had a
Mm.
bit of a following around Birmingham anyway, and we just carried on with that. So that's where it comes from, which is why it you know, it's not the greatest name to me, but people know us by that name.
Mm.
So yeah, it's all good.
Great. Well, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for jumping on and for your time today, and we'll see if we can get one of your records played on my show right now
Oh, cool.
for our
Yeah,
listeners. Right,
Adios.
Brill. Lovely speaking with you. Have a good
Good to
rest of
speak
the
to you,
day.
man. Yeah, have a good one. Catch you in a
Nice
bit.
one.